I mean, Bauer skates, guys, bruh. Bauer skates really are the best. There is no comparison. Bauer, bruh. True skates are the best. Fully customizable, no Bauer bumps. Right? True Bauer, boys, CCM all the way. First of all, Austin Matthews wears CCM. But second of all, they're the most comfortable skates. I don't worry about Bauer bumps. I don't worry about having to customize for 8 weeks. I just go buy them out of the box. They're perfect. CCM all day. True CCM, boys. First of all, look at the design. But second of all, true skates are clunky. They're hideous. CCM feels like you're wearing lead on your feet. Boys, come on. Let's talk about the best skates in the market right now. The Flylite. Considering what Bauer bumps and you got this customizable CCM all the way, but what the hell is that?
More off-putting.
No, I'm more off-putting.
I'm more unattractive to put in a lead role.
Well, I'm a bigger box office drag.
Kids, you're both just awful.
Ain't this the way with skates? Everybody has their own opinion on what the best skate is. And look, at the end of the day, just like I said in my mock video and my Hyperlight 2 video, the skate has to work for you. It has to fit. I can tell you everything that I'm enjoying about these skates and the things I do or don't like. And at the end of the day, they still might not work for you. So that is the difference with skates. The other thing is these are $1,800 skates with steel, the whole shebang. I had to replace the laces and get super feet on the inside, and they still had to add to these. That's the weird part about top end skates. These are $1,800. That is a mortgage payment. That is like down payment on a car. That is a medical treatment for some people. I'm not going to sit here and debate with you whether these skates and their price are worth it. That's not what this video is about. Me, I've always been a proponent of you get the best possible skate, make sure it fits on your foot, make sure it feels the best, because this is what is attached to the ice. That's always been my way. You can argue with me that they're worth it, they're too much money, Bauer makes too much money, whoever it is. It is what it is. I'm not going to debate that with you. I'm just going to give you the rundown of what I feel this skate brings to the table, how I like it, what I don't like about it, and hopefully it helps you make that decision if you want to throw your mortgage payment towards the new skate. Because these skates are so dang expensive, and my plea to the community to help keep this channel going, I do have a cool announcement coming for a sponsor. Just going to throw it up here right now. It's really early. We're just chatting right now. He's looking to sponsor the channel, and I'm super stoked because it's actually a hockey training app, which is something that I've wanted since I've started playing hockey because I'm into fitness, etc. So super cool. He's going to help sponsor the channel, and I'm loving the app so far. It's really early. That's what it is. We're going to keep it at that for now. We'll talk more about it soon. Back to the skate video. One kind of final thought with the skates and how expensive they are, and sticks with how expensive they are, is kind of Pareto principle, 80-20 rule. I posted a long time ago a video of where I said the two places you should spend money are sticks and skates. I still stand by that. And the reason is because this is the one thing that's connected to the ice 100% of the time. This will give you the best bang for your buck in terms of overall performance to spend ratio. And that's kind of what Pareto is, right? Like 80-20 rule. You're getting 80% of the results from 20% of the equipment, stick and skates. Everything else doesn't really matter, especially in beer league. You don't need to worry about $300 shin guards and elbow pads that are $250, etc. This is where you really should put the money, is to ensure a skate that works for your game, that exploits what you're doing on the ice and gives you that performance. So just keep that in mind. Yes, expensive, already touched on that, but this is where you really should spend and splurge and make sure this works for you. The problem with top end skates is that, in my opinion, they are the most important aspect of a top end player's game. Whether you're in beer league or whatever, they really do help make a player. And it sucks that such an amazing skate is so expensive. And it doesn't change for CCM, True, or Gonna Be Warrior, I'm sure. is the end of the day, the top end skate is expensive. It has been for a long time. The sucky part is that this is $1,800 and this skate, back in the day would be $900. So it's a hard pill to swallow. But as you can see from this clip, is if you can outskate your opponent because your skate works for your game, and for me, we'll get into that, this will make or break your game and your performance. So by having the best skate for me, and how this works for me is I can outskate players in my competition because of it. What's going on, you guys? It is Jace from icestorehouse.com. We are here with Bauer Sales Guy. He's going to be the product rep today. He's going to tell you all the amazing features, the tech, all the innovation that went into this new Flylite skate. It's going to be crazy, and we're super stoked to have him on the channel. As you guys know, we do that all the time and provide the product rep. So Mr. Bauer Sales Guy, Rep Guy, tell us, what is the defining feature of the skate? Yeah, thanks, Jace, for the introduction. Yeah, we're all about Flylite these days. That was the new release, protective skates, etc. Very good. But the biggest selling feature of the skate is going to be graphics package. As you guys know, flashy sells, especially with the younger gen. We want kids this Christmas going and being like, I want those flashy Flylite skates under the Christmas tree. That's what we're going for. That's Flylite. That's defining. Right. That's what we're hitting up right now, Vapor Flylite. Wait. Modern day Bauer skates are not actually as light as the original like APX Vapor lines in the size that I get, which is 7.5. Those things were like 800 something grams. As you can see, this is slightly heavier. But in today's skate builds with the protection, the larger height in the steel, etc., Bauer skates are significantly lighter than True and CCM. I'm not sure why that is, but it's something that I have noticed. Every time I go to get a new pair of skates, everybody's like, get the FT8 Pro, get the Trues, do this. And unfortunately, whenever I put on skates, I always feel that the Bauer is just lighter and it's more streamlined feeling. And you can actually see it. Just put a Bauer skate next to a True and a CCM, and those are significantly larger skates. They just have more bulk to them. I prefer streamlined, lighter skates. Bauer Vapors just seem to be that. I actually find one of the biggest problems beer leaguers have with skating is that they overtie their skates so that their ankles have no mobility. They can't get over top of their feet in terms of forward flex, and they're using too much of a wrap on their skates so that it's restricting foot movement. So with the Vapor line and the eyelets that have been there for now, I think at least 5 or 6 years and 3 or 4 skates, is they allow for huge forward flex. I'm a really shitty trained adult skater that learned when I was 25 years old. I'm now 42 years old. I'm a terrible skater and I'm very upright. These skates and eyelets without the wrap and the flex allow me to get way over top of myself without bending my knees because I'm a super lazy skater. It allows me to skate better. When I went to the mock a couple of years ago, I didn't have the same forward flex. So this is a huge advantage if you're like me and you're a shitty skater. So if you're like me and need to get over your toes with lots of flex, then the Vapor line with the eyelets is the way to go. There's no durability issues. I've used them for years. Honestly, I don't know where that came from. What's a defining feature of the skate that you think really definitely no steel. We really wanted to surprise people that half the skate doesn't come with it anymore. Okay, the other thing with really top-end skates is that everybody's going to say they're very stiff. But stiffness comes with two kind of pros and cons. So the first thing with stiffness is that if you're maybe not very heavy or a very strong stride, might not be the best for you. But if you're kind of like me, I'm 200 pounds, been training since I was 15 years old, I have really strong legs. This type of boot is very responsive for me. Now, throwing in the new Bauer Fly holder, which has kind of almost like a spring to it, which is what this is. It almost gives you like a little bit of a spring trampoline effect. So you put in the responsiveness of the Bauer Fly holder with the stiffness of the boot, and the responsiveness of this skate is kind of top level. I used to hate when I first started. I always complained that skates weren't very stiff or responsive. You'd actually have like creases kind of right here forming in the material. You'd have the boot basically was like leather and falling apart. It wasn't ideal. So if you're kind of like me, who's a very agile, fast type of skater in beer league, where I'm trying to outskate slower opponents, then a responsive boot and responsive holder is going to be huge. So yes, it's a very stiff skate. Maybe that's not ideal for you. It might be better to downgrade, go to the Fly Pro or the one below, etc. But for me, and if you're the type of skater like me where you're trying to outskate somebody, the responsiveness on this boot is top notch. All right, now what about price point through the lines, like the Flylite, Fly Pro, and then all throughout the lines? What'd you kind of go for when you were putting that? Right, together? We wanted the Flylite to be like the epitome of the price, right? Like even Scrooge McDuck couldn't afford these if he played hockey. Fly Pro, much better, lacks the tongue, but honestly good. But I would go with the Hyperlite too. That you did. Just some very minor things of changes and notices from the Hyperlite 2. If you watch that video, it's been a while, but the Hyperlite 2 to me was slightly shorter. When I went with the exact same 7.5, and I did it with the Flylite as well from the original Hyperlite, the Hyperlite 2, my toes were always scraping the end. This skate at a 7.5 is again just slightly longer and my toes don't touch anymore. So when you go in for sizing, you might notice that. Now, it annoyed the crap out of me on the Hyperlite 2 because my toes were always jamming the end of the skate in the same size. Difficult to deal with because if you go a half size up, you might be too big. So it might be better to get like a heel lift or something, big super feet to keep that on the Hyperlite 2. Now it's not the issue with the super feet in here. The other change that I noticed is the volume. The overall volume of this skate was better than the Hyperlite 2. Fit 3, both styles, again, I had more space. It might mean that you're in between sizes now. You might have to go Fit 2. For me, I've always had ankle issues with compression here. So now with this skate, my foot feels better. My ankles aren't being crunched like crazy, and I'm not dealing with ankle pain anymore. Just a couple very small nuances that I noticed between the fit. Now, regarding the tongue, this is probably my favorite tongue so far in all the iterations of Bauer skates since they started doing this kind of flexy, padded, responsive tongue. I think this one is one of the best. It's got good padding, feels great. There's no lace bite issues. Not going to end up with a bunch of problems there. It has nice flex to it, and it has decent protection. I took a puck off from a beer leaguer that wasn't overly painful. I think if you took a full-blown slap shot for somebody who knows what they're doing, you'd be in trouble. But I think that it's designed for kind of weight and minimal protection with mostly flexiness. So this is one of my favorite tongues so far from them. I'm a huge fan. That's definitely a pro on this skate. Well, it's very great having you today. You've come with a lot of nonsensical information that nobody cares about in terms of tech, etc. Is there anything else you can tell us about the skate? Well, I really didn't come prepared except to go over kind of some graphics right. And, some steel. I'm not going to lie, I don't have a whole lot more to give you guys. There you have it, guys. Bauer Fly Light. So in wrapping up the summary, of course, graphics. I mean, the graphics are sick, right? I mean, bruh, come on. Bright white. You can see them on all the videos, even on the shitty live barn footage. Overall, the skate works. It feels great. It has great responsiveness. The Bauer Fly holder coupled with the stiffness of the boot, with the tongue, with the eyelets, the skate is a winner. Now, would I recommend $1,800 Flylite skates when the Hyperlite 2 was just as good? Honestly, you could probably go with the Hype 2 at half the price. And I said the exact same thing with the Hyperlite 2 video about the Hyperlite. The skate is an upgrade, barely, feels great, all those pros. Let's get into the cons of this skate because one of them is the biggest, and that's comfort. This con goes back to Hype 1, Hype 2, and now Flylite. And it's really the biggest thing that True and CCM have on the Bauer skates in general is comfort. Now, for whatever reason, maybe they're saving the weight. They're trying to keep, like I said, a streamlined fit over True and CCM. But I have always found the comfort on Vapor skates has not been the best. In terms of once you bake it and actually get that mold to your ankles and foot, it doesn't feel the best ever. Now, I've put on True and CCM skates, and both felt far more comforting, pillow-like, supportive once they're baked. Now, again, I always gravitate towards the Vapor skate because I just like the streamlined look and feel. But in terms of comfort, if you're the type of person that needs absolute comfort, you want to be wearing slippers on the ice, then really a Bauer skate I don't think is for you. If you're more concerned about streamlined performance, responsiveness, and the eyelets that give you that forward flex, then I don't think that the comfort comes as much into play. But if you put on a skate and that's the first thing you notice, then I think True or CCM is probably the way to go for you. That is the biggest con with these skates, and it has been for quite some time. As the Bauer sales guy, tip my hat to you. At the end of the day, who is this skate for? You know, Vapor Supreme with Bauer, Jet Speed, Ribcore, Tax, the Hazardous, you know, all those skates always have like a player profile. And at the end of the day, the skate has to fit, it has to feel good on your foot, it has to work for you. So if all that sounds good up to this point, and this skate, you're like, am I this type of skate player? This skate to me is responsiveness, it is agility, it is speed, it is forward flex, it is versatility. It's that type of skate. It feels great to do those things. Yes, the comfort is a little bit lacking versus CCM and True, but at the end of the day, this skate works for my game, which is speed, agility, responsiveness, and ability to, you know, make defenders struggle with how I'm skating. That's the type of player that I am. Hopefully it works for you. Let's finish it up. All right, and finally, durability. The truth of the matter is I've had all iterations of Vapor skates, and I always change them at the 2-year mark, and they always make it in great shape, and I always sell them to get actually good money back so I can buy the next Vapor skate. Now, is any skate going to have durability issues? It really depends. I haven't seen a skate other than True have composite issues posted on, say, like Reddit and things like that. Are you going to beat the crap out of these and have run into problems? You might, or you might not. I skated 4 or 5 times a week last year on my Hype 2s and never had an issue. I don't think I'm going to here either. I really don't think skates in general have durability issues. You might get hit with a puck that was 100 miles an hour and break an eyelet. You might somehow put too much torque on your tendon guard and it might break. But I've seen that on a CCM. I've seen composite issues on True skates. I've never seen them on Bauer. I've seen holders crack. I've seen steel break. At the end of the day, the skates are what you make of it. Take care of them. Don't put them wet and rusty in your bag. Don't leave them in moisture-filled place. Don't bake them more than once. Don't do stupid things with them, and your skates will last. I honestly don't think you're going to have durability issues with these skates, other than what I just said was freak accidents at the end of the day. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope it helped make the decision, if you wanted to remortgage your house, to pick up the flashiest skates on the market. And for parents out there, you know your kids are going to want that white, flashy Vapor Fly Light. Have a good one. I almost feel like these videos don't really bring much to the table. I mean, I'm interviewing you, the Bauer sales guy rep. At the end of the day, you're just trying to sell the skate, and all you're talking about is tech and basically nonsense. I mean, maybe that's why we can't actually sell this skate. I could be wrong. Yeah, maybe I mean, that's a good point. I mean, we're just like every other influencer. We just tuttle nonsense on the internet. That's the Ice Storehouse way. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we should change it.